about here is a scenario which the English call nitpicking. People are doing what is called nitpicking. Because if you talk about IEBC, I am the first person within the code fraternity to raise the red flag on IEBC. You hosted me in this studio, Yvonne, when I was chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. At that time, I had just initiated an inquiry by the Public Accounts Committee into the IEBC. That report is already in the National Assembly. I am the first person to actually start an inquiry into IEBC. My position as to the need, the necessity, the urgency to restructure IEBC, to reform IEBC is not in doubt. What I do not agree with, that you can reform a constitutional organ using unconstitutional means.
Okay.
I will never agree with that. I will never support that. I do not support violence in any form or characterization. Do I support reforms in IEBC? Oh yes, absolutely. Do I support peaceful protest as enacted in Article 37 of the Constitution? Absolutely. But the Constitution is very clear. Peaceful and unarmed.
Okay.
Incidences of violence, incidences of destroying property, incidences of death, whether that is being caused by citizens or by the police, is a no-go for me.
All right. So do you agree with the way in which some of the party members then were out on the streets? Do you think that they conform to Article 37, that they were peacefully protesting and were peaceably and unarmed during those protests? In other words, do you agree with the manner in which the protests were carried out?
Yvonne, I led a peaceful protest. The most peaceful protest in this whole process is one I led in Kisii. I led that protest. But another fundamental question I want you to ask, if indeed we want to do an inquisition of who was and who was not in these protests, how come this protest was confined to only small pockets of the country? How come? No, that's fundamental.
To be
that's
honest, yes,
fundamental.
and you're raising some fundamental questions.
Fundamental issue.
But some would say you are the Secretary General of the party. Why did you not raise this within the party?
Because even as a Secretary
we're
General,
only in Nairobi and in Mombasa, why aren't we in the other parts of the country?
Because
shouldn't this have been something you would initiate as the top brass of the party?
And it goes back to the point I've made of being a ceremonial Secretary General.
Okay.
When this decision was made to go to the street, the style of the protest, the timing, the process, I was never consulted. I was never involved. I am not a marionette who someone will sit in some place and simply play strings and expect that when you tell me jump, I should ask how high. I'm not that kind of person, Yvonne.
Right. Okay.
So I will not be party to processes that I am not involved, and that is the reason why Oparanya is the governor for Kakamega and the deputy party leader of this party. Why did he never lead a protest in Kakamega? Why were there no protests in Bungoma where we have a code principle? Why were there no protests in Machakos, in Makueni, in Kitui, where we have another code principle? Okay. If indeed you want to conduct an inquisition, do an inquisition that covers all these and tell me why were all these leaders missing in action. All right.